Good morning, friends. Happy Monday. Fresh week, new intention. Are you with me? I hope so. No matter how your day has started, you can turn that bus towards the direction you want to go, right? So I just got off Zoom and a couple of us were kind of chatting through nutrition and how at times it can feel super overwhelming. So if that's where you're at, take a deep breath, breathe into a paper bag. It's not life or death. It is, you're allowed to mess up a little and you're allowed to get back on track and you're allowed to try different things. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to do portion fix. You're also allowed to pivot and do to be mindset. I pivoted my workout this last week. I decided to do, there's a 2-week yoga calendar and that's what feels good. So that's what I'm doing. Today was my second day doing it and I follow it for about 26 minutes and then my brain starts to get all restless and squirrely and then I just move however feels right. And I'm going to count it as a win. And I'm encouraging you to count it as a win as well. So Carolyn and I were chatting a lot about nutrition and how when you're in your flow, it can be so easy to just be 100% on point. And then sometimes we get off track and it's just like this cycle, right? Like it's this out of control snowball and you're like, oh my gosh. If that is where you are today, I want you to take a deep breath, like I said at the beginning of this video, calm your tits down and focus on the small things. Focus on an extra glass of water. Focus on eating something that's green. Focus on prepping something like an easy go-to vegetable, easy go-to protein that you can have in your fridge so that when you are hangry, you don't have to overthink things. You don't have to over-prepare. I don't like to meal prep. Some of you, that's totally your wizardry and you rock on with your bad self, but I like to just batch cook. And that means, you know, making extra chicken to have on hand, making extra steamed broccoli, making sure that I have some hard-boiled eggs, making sure I have a batch of quinoa and some plain yogurt. Berries in the freezer, like those things aren't really batch cooking, but it's just making sure that I have easy things that I can grab instead of overcomplicating it. Because if I overcomplicate it, if I overthink it, then I wind up just with my hand in the literal cookie jar. Okay. So something else that I know works for me, especially when I feel like I'm floundering, is to literally clear my emotional desk. Just be like, okay, what has worked for me in the past? What has worked for me in the past is accountability. It is actually logging the stuff that's going in my pie hole. So you can print things if you have BOD. You can go in and you can print your trackers for all the things. To Be Mindset, which is more of an intuitive style of eating, where she teaches you how to fill your plate. You know, like so much vegetables, so much protein, so much healthy, happy carbs, stuff like that. Or Portion Fix, where you're using the containers and you're tracking based on the bracket you're in, which when we were doing Lift More, Carla and I were figuring out our macros, and it was actually very close. I needed more protein, a little bit more protein than she was talking about in Portion Fix, but I was also lifting heavy stuff. So you don't have to have this, you don't have to have all the apps. You don't have to make it super technical. You can literally make like a little chart for yourself with some crayons if you're doing Portion Fix, like I need this many red containers, this many green containers, this many purple containers. And then you just eat them. And if you're like, well, what do those mean? Look it up. You have access to all this. There's a lot of videos. She simplifies it. If it's been a long time since you've visited this, I'm encouraging you to take a minute. If you're new or you have never explored those, look at the nutrition plans. They're very simple. We tend to overcomplicate things in our head when we don't understand them, but they are very simple, and it's just eating to fuel your body. And that doesn't mean plain chicken and broccoli, okay? That means eating delicious food. There's a bunch of recipes in there too, okay? So you have lots of tools. So for me, Allison sent me this journal a long time ago, and I grabbed it because I need to start logging my food, because when I have to write it down, it seems to help me. So it's a fresh Monday. I'm not going to overcomplicate it. I came upstairs with this big stack of books, but that doesn't mean I have to do all the things. You don't have to do all the things. You can make one fresh commitment this week, which is drinking your water or getting your Shakeology in or promising you're going to move your body, or maybe it's meditating. You choose what you need to do, okay? And then you just focus on that one thing like a ninja, like a rock star. You throw yourself a parade. You become your best hype girl around it. And then once you feel like that's kind of rooted and that you're feeling good and proud about it, then you can layer something else in, okay? You don't have to do all or nothing. That's not what this is. It's not about perfection. You are allowed to change your mind. If your workout isn't bringing you joy, there's lots of options. And if you are feeling kind of like I've been feeling, where just kind of overwhelmed and unsure of what to do next, you just make a decision and you do what feels right. Okay? So I decided I'm going to do 2 weeks of yoga. It's not a tattoo. I'm not doing it for the next 5 weeks. It's just 2 weeks of yoga. And I'm going to do that, and I'm going to be proud of it. And even if it's imperfect, I'm still going to collect my wins. So I want you to collect your wins today. Cool? I shared all the resources for this week, this weekend. They're pinned in this group, so go find them. I want you to know there's lots of resources available to you for bod. So especially if you're fighting sickness or you have a sick kid and you're just feeling like you can't do all the things, lean into, like, preserve that pocket of time and do a meditation or listen to a sound bowl. And even if you only get 2 minutes, you're going to count that as a win. Cool? Cool. All right. Great talk. So I'm going to log my wins. I have my journal. I haven't done that yet today because I got up a little bit late, but this is okay. It's all right. I can move this throughout my day. It's not I didn't do it in the order I said I was going to, and now I have failed. Allow yourself the space to plug and play it where it needs to go. And if that means you just say it out loud while you're driving your car, the things you're grateful for, the things that you won yesterday, or the way you're choosing to win today, that counts. Cool? Cool. So the things I'm doing, I'm going to do yoga because it feels right. I promised myself I would meditate, and I opened the app today and it closed it right out. And then I turned it on at the end of my workout and I got it in. Cool, cool. I'm going to log my nutrition. I'm going to take 5 minutes, set a timer on my phone, do 5 minutes of reading a book that works on my mindset and heart set today. And then everything else is everything else. You have 10 to 20 minutes to show up for yourself today. So if you're telling yourself it's too big or I'm too busy, those are lies, okay? And they don't serve you. And you are capable of doing the stuff you need to do. You're already her. You are already her. You were already her. So show up as her today and be super proud of all the wins that you collect today. Cool? Cool. I can't wait to hear how you win. I'm going to get off here and hop onto the coach Zoom. So if you're in the coach tribe, you can pop on Zoom and we're going to do a little planning for this week. But I believe in you. You can totally handle anything that comes at you this week. It doesn't have to be all. It doesn't have to be some massive effort. Just make one promise and then do your best to touch it every single day. Cool.